Hi, thanks for watching my video. So I thought I was in a bit of a speed build mood, so I thought I'd do a little build. And you might notice the pace of the build is quite quick. Well, that's because this fucker literally took me at least over 8 hours to do. I recorded it over the span of about 5 days. I was just, in the mood to do a build and thought, yeah, you know what, maybe I'll do like a little Disney princess build, because you know what I'm like. So I decided to build like a mansion type thing with all of their bedrooms. And I think I bit off a little bit more than what I could chew, because it took fucking ages. It took me so long. And by the time I put all the videos together, it was at least 8 hours worth of recording. And some of it I've cut out. So you'll notice as you're watching the video, there are parts that just kind of skip. Because even with me like increasing the speed, it still ends up being ridiculously too long. The video itself, if I didn't cut any of it and just left it at like high speed, would still be over an hour, and no one wants to listen to me for over an hour. So I thought I'd do you all a favour and just cut it down to just under half an hour. So that's what's happening if you're wondering why all of a sudden there's a little bit of a skip and a room looks a little bit more done up than it did a second ago. It's because I thought I'd save you having to watch me go through the catalogue, because I think out of all of the 8 hours it took me to build this, most of it was probably spent literally just looking through the catalogue, just trying to find things that were relevant. Anyway, that room there is like the outdoors, like flowery area. I thought, if they're Disney princesses, it would be a nice place to just go and sit by the flowers. I imagine them maybe sitting at the benches, doing some writing, poetry, some sort of deep shit like that. I don't know. This is the main lobby area, and I thought I'd take some pictures of the princesses, put them up so that people know who lives here. So, and I've also used those pictures again to put them next to the bedroom doors, because I thought that was quite cute. It would show you, which bedroom is which. This room here is the library. I wanted to make it quite grand. Now, don't get me wrong, I know I am a shit builder. But my logic is, if I do enough builds, maybe, just maybe one day, I'll actually be all right at it. And would I say I think this build came out brilliant? No, not really, but I do think it looks a lot better than a lot of the builds I've done. So, path of improvement, isn't it? So, also, I tried not to use any custom content. There might be one or two things, but if you were to download this from the gallery, and I'm going to put it on the gallery, it should look pretty much the same. So most of it is from the just the normal packs and stuff. This is just a little section where I figure people can just, sit, read a book. And then in the centre of the library, I kind of imagine this to be the sort of place where maybe they would have like meetings, I don't really know what Disney princesses are having meetings about, but, if they ever did need to have a meeting to talk about, I don't know, what fucking shade of lipstick is on trend this week, then they could do it in this little nook here in front of the fireplace. So, got to think about these things. So that's what I had in mind. And, yeah, it ended up being a very girly build. I know, not like me, right? What with all the pink shit everywhere. Doesn't sound like something I would do. A lot of some of the furniture is pretty consistent throughout the build because I wanted it to reflect, old times. Like the bedrooms are really individual, like decorated to that princess's style. But we don't really have any modern day princesses, do we? So most of the bedrooms are, and like the whole downstairs area is kind of furnished in a way like it could be Victorian. Although I think I put a TV in one of the rooms, so probably not. But the actual chairs and stuff like that is a little bit more timed. Try and be accurate. We like to be accurate. This right here is the dining room. Tried to go for a classy look. It's more there for decoration, really. They're not going to eat in there. I mean, they're Disney princesses, not going to eat, are they? Don't want them getting fucking fat. So this room is more for show. I ended up making it look a little bit more like witchy, and I don't really know why. I guess I just kind of thought there's still like quite a lot of magic with Disney, so that's where I justified that. Just cluttering shit up just for the crack of cluttering it up, really. Then we move on to the kitchen area, which connects swiftly onto the dining room. I kind of imagine this room would be used more by... Actually, I don't really know, because can any of the princesses even cook? Because, I mean, Ariel wouldn't be able to. Aurora's pretty lazy. I've never seen Pocahontas pick up a saucepan. None of them can fucking cook. Maybe Snow, and probably Cinderella as well, because she would have had to cook for her stepsisters and her stepmom. So I feel like this is more going to be Snow and Cinder's domain, because they're the only fuckers who actually know how to cook in this house. House full of 8 people. 2 of them can cook. And actually, that's really brought my curiosity. Can any of them cook? And before any of you say anything, Tiana is not in this build. I've gone for classical princesses. By that, I mean princesses who were princesses when I was a kid. So Jasmine, Pocahontas, Ariel, Aurora, Snow, Cinders, Mulan, and Belle. So, yeah, they all live in this one house. God, could you imagine the cat fights? I feel like it would be a good place to do Big Brother. Disney princesses wouldn't be so pretty then, would they? Fighting over the hairdryer. Well, it's old times, actually. Fighting over, having a scrap over the hairbrush. Now we're back in the lobby. I had to keep coming back to the lobby because I just kept finding it so overwhelming. Because it's just a load of open space. If I were to do this again, I would have made this area a lot smaller, or had it so that you would walk through corridors and stuff and get to like a little square of space and have things like hidden. Because when you just have open space, it's quite difficult to fill it, and then you just end up sticking any old shit in there. I tried to be a bit arty-farty with having like flower beds in the middle of the building. And tried to do some kind of references to the princesses, like Snow's apple, and then I did a rose for Belle, and then I literally just stuck a statue of a princess. At that point I was like, fuck it, this is princessy enough for me, just chuck that in there. And changed it from pink to an unoffending yellow. One thing I will say though, is that doing this build made me really miss having creator style in The Sims 3, because usually I don't really worry about what I have in build and buy, because I just download CC. Fuck it, get what I want, find it on Tumblr or something, job done. But if it's a build that's going to go on the gallery, obviously it can't have CC, because it will just look really shit when you place it and go in there. Half the objects would be missing, and it made me realise how limited of a selection we have. Like, I think when you're just furnishing any, rando place, you can, there's a lot to work with and you can pick a theme. But when you're, like, decorating for something very specific, like Snow, like her room is very, like, forest inspired and stuff like that. And as I was doing it, I was thinking about how handy it would be to have that like foresty wallpaper they have in creator style. Not necessarily for the whole room, but just for like sections, so that you can have like a little theme throughout the room. I kind of figured, with a lot of these princesses, they each have something that's like kind of signature to them, like something nautical for Ariel. Like, it would just be nice if there was a little bit more customization, so that I could have like a few anchors in places for her and, all that kind of stuff. So now we're in the living room. I think the living room kind of turned out, it's a bit boring looking. I think there isn't really much personality to it, but I did put a bar in there because I figured, Disney princesses like a drink. They probably like a few cocktails. Good old porn star martini, that's my favourite. So I did generously give them a bar so that they could drink away their sorrows. I'm sure they have plenty of them. A lot of pressure being a Disney princess. So, bound to have a need for a shot or two. Now moving on to what could arguably be described as one of the best rooms in the house, which is the dressing room. This is where all the drama happens. It's where all the cat fights kick off. People accusing people of stealing each other's shoes. I mean, you could imagine it, couldn't you? So, yeah, this is where they get all glammed up, you know, when their princes come over for date night. This is where the magic happens. I don't know why I find it so funny, the thought of them fighting. I think it's because there's so much emphasis in the movies of them being so gracious and so delicate that I just love the idea of absolute carnage, like, you know, throwing like princess drops, slapping each other around, throwing stuff across the floor. I just feel like there's got to be some evil behind those eyes. No one's that perfect. I'm sure they have a scrap from time to time. Anyway, moving on to the bathroom. I think the bathroom turned out pretty glamorous, to be honest. Fit for many princesses. This is probably the most luxurious bathroom in the house. There are, I want to say, 4 bathrooms upstairs. And I don't really have the patience for bathrooms, you know. I put the effort in this time round, and then I put a little bit of effort in for the second bathroom. And when at the end of this video, I'm going to do like a little tiny tour around, and you'll definitely notice that I definitely lost the energy. I did not have the will to bother with the bathrooms towards the end, and I think the last 2 just ended up being toilet in a room. So now we are in Ariel's room. Wanted to start with her. I feel like she was probably the most fun one to start. She was the one I was most excited about doing her room, because I kind of thought, okay, well, what can I be doing, build and buy? So I knew I would stick with like the pink and like pale blue sort of colour palette. The room ended up looking really girly, kind of like Ariel. Ariel's one of my favourite Disney princesses, but you know, I'm thinking back on the movie, I feel like as much as she's one of my favourites, Ariel and I have very different morals. And I'll tell you why. In the movie, it's very clear that Ariel is obsessed with the world on land. She's been collecting all this human shit. It's clearly her lifelong dream to go and see what lurks above the seashores. But she doesn't do anything about it, even though she wants to do that, and she clearly wanted to do that before she saw Eric. But then only after she saw this guy for like 10 seconds, she then decides to do something about her lifelong dream. So she didn't do it for her, she did it for him. And I just kind of thought, come on, love, what are you playing at? You know, put yourself first. Ariel, here's a bit of advice for you. You need to learn to love yourself before you can love other people. And if you decide to make a life-changing decision, you should do it because you want to, and not because you saw a fit bloke for 10 seconds and then decided to make a life-changing decision. Get some respect for yourself, love. I'm sorry to go off on a rant about it, but it just, you know, when you have an impression of someone when you're a child, and then you grow up and you see things, you see people for who they really are, you know, it hurts. It hurts. She's unreliable. She's delusional. It's like finding out as an adult that someone that's inspired you for so many years to be the best that you can be is actually just a toxic person. But, toxic person or not, I still decided to give her a nice bedroom. And, I haven't really spoken much about the build. So I tried to reference her interests as much as possible. I tried to make it fishy. I also put some like cutlery, like knives and forks on the walls to represent, you know, her little people collection where she collects all this British stuff. Not British stuff, all this like land stuff. So, I tried to reflect her personality. And this ended up being one of my favourite rooms. I'm actually pretty happy with how it turned out. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on. I didn't record the bathrooms in this speed build, but you'll see them when I do like the tour of the house. So now we're over to Mulan's room. So Mulan's house in the film is quite traditionally decorated, so I wanted her room to be fairly traditional, and the item in the corner behind the umbrella kind of reminded me of the little temple she has in her garden where she goes and connects with the ancestors, so I put that there. And I also wanted to reference her like warrior days, so I gave her the sword holder and also the suit of armour you can kind of see there, just as a little nod to her bravery. Mulan's one of the very few films that actually still makes me cry, even as an adult, especially when they do the montage and she's looking at her reflection in the sword, and I'm like, oh my god, Mulan, you're so fucking brave. So, yeah, maybe she is the best princess after all. Fuck Ariel. Can anyone guess whose room we're doing now? I tried to make it very foresty. This is Snow's room. And I kind of went for like greens for the forest, but then also her dress colours. So it's pretty much just like brown, green, yellow, red. This is another one that I was quite happy with how it turned out. Now, you could say, is it conventional really to put trees in a bedroom? Probably not. But, you know, these are Sims. They're not real life people. So it's not like they're going to cry over having a tree in their room. Fuck them. It'll be fine. And also I put some tiny little sized down apples in on her little dresser table. Just like as a lol moment, so she can look at them and be like, ah, remember that time I almost died? Yeah, funny. We have fun. I also gave her a mirror that kind of looks similar to the magic mirror, and then also I gave her a little broom as well. I think it's quite funny because I imagine, so Snow White is the first Disney princess that was made, and I can't help but feel like it was intended as a message from Walt Disney, maybe to his wife. I think just because of the emphasis that was put on how Snow is the most beautiful, like the fairest of them all, and so obviously a true inspiration to women all around. Not only that, but she's not afraid to pick up a broom. So I could just imagine him telling his wife about it, like, yeah, I just created this character and she's incredibly beautiful, most beautiful of them all, actually, yeah, and she's good at cleaning, so maybe take some notes, Lillian. You cheeky fuck. Can't really blame him, can you, though? If I were a bloke and I was going to create the first Disney princess and, try and make her someone that girls and women would look up to, I probably would put a few selfish things in there too to show my wife, like, yeah, she's the most beautiful in all the land. And also, she cooks steak. And also, she loves cleaning skid marks off of pants. So, if you want to be more like her... Moving on to the most boring princess in the franchise, Aurora. This is Aurora's room. It's basically just pink. I did try to give her a bit more personality in The Sims than what she has in the movies by giving her, like, some knitting shit. Because I kind of thought, well, make the connection. She... pricks her finger on a spinning needle, whatever it was. So I'll make her, really keen into knitting. So give her some personality. And also she loves sleeping. That's all she fucking does. So I gave her a nice little cuddly teddy bear as well. And a cloud shelf. And to be honest, is this my favourite room? No. But I think I did a bloody good job considering what I was given. And what I was given was fuck all. The bitch has no fucking personality. What's the point in her? Her favourite colour's pink, I guess. Or maybe it's blue. She can't even make up her fucking mind. I don't know. Let's move on. So moving on to Jasmine's room. This actually ended up being one of my favourite rooms in the build because it's just such a fun looking room. Like, it's so colourful. I think it's quite grand looking. I gave her a lot of gold stuff. And yeah, I think it just looks really fun. I feel like if I had to choose which one of these would be my bedroom, I would be torn between Ariel's room and this room. But that's only because Ariel's room is bigger. I really like this room. It's really playful. It's got a cheeky side to it. The only thing I would have loved to have put in this, if they had one, was a tiger. And, I guess it would be silly to expect the packs to just have a tiger. But I kind of thought, oh, maybe there's like a toy tiger that I forgot about. So I was looking through the toys for ages, but no. But I just feel like that would have really brought the room together, you know, just sticking a big old tiger in there. I can't even remember the name of her tiger. It was a tiger, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a tiger. But other than that, it'll do. I think Jasmine as well, morally, is one of the more superior princesses because she don't take no shit. She doesn't obey her father's wishes. She does what she wants. And I think it's good to promote strong, independent women. So in a sec, we're going to move on from the contrasting, bright, colourful room that belongs to Jasmine to Cinderella's room. Her room's decorated like quite classically in her signature blue colours. I kept it pretty simple, like blue and white. I really wanted to find mice and put them around, but I couldn't find any. So in the end, I just stuck a load of cats everywhere. I know there's a cat in the film and she doesn't like it. It's Lucifer, I think its name is. So in my version of the story, she's a cat fan and it's the cats that she loves. So appealing to the inner cat people in all of us. Another thing about this classical princess, I think she is the second one after Snow. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. Also not afraid to clean the house every once in a while. We get it, Walt. You want your floors mopped and your tables polished. Kind of reminds me of the episode of South Park, the NASCAR episode, where that man creates the Vagisil to improve vaginal cleanliness. And he says his wife was the inspiration. When Vagisil is used every day, it is proved to be effective. Every day, Linda. So now we find ourselves in Belle's room. I'm going to admit it turned out to be a bit boring. It's a lot of brown, it's a lot of red. I had the best of intentions to put roses everywhere. I did put some books here and there and kind of try to reference, you know, a little bit of literature, a little bit of French. But I'm going to level with you guys. At this point, I really was exhausted and I didn't even know if I had the will to go on. So so this room was made pretty half-assed. I'm not even going to try and hide that. This is one of the weaker rooms in the house, I think. And also Pocahontas's room was also done while I was in this mindset. So sue me, what are you going to do? Now, I kind of struggled a bit with Pocahontas's room because there isn't really much of her interior in the film. So I wasn't really sure how to decorate it. I definitely knew that I wanted it to be like quite earthy because from her songs and from her, you know, the way she is, she's all about the planet, all about Mother Nature. She's into plants, you know, her best mate's a tree. So I kind of just ran with that and literally just went, okay, well, we're just going to do earthy tones and a fuck ton of trees and they can be her mates. She can ask for some advice or something. So that's pretty much the entire thought process behind her room. All right, time for the grand tour. Please make yourselves at home. Take your shoes off. This is the lobby area where we have our pictures of our princesses and just some stuff I put in the middle to make the room look more filled than it really was. We have some plants in the middle of the room for no reason whatsoever, and then we have another plant room, but it's got a glass ceiling, so it's like a conservatory, inspirational poetry room, if you like. You can call it that. Sometimes the princesses come in here just to sing. Moving on. So now we're making our way into the living room, bar, most important part there, and then the pretty generic looking classical living room, into the kitchen, Snow and Cinder's domain, because none of the other princesses can fucking cook, and then here we have the dining room, which never gets used because the princesses don't fucking eat. And hallway, where are we going now, Carla? Oh right, the library, yes. This is Belle's favourite room in the house. Also, in case you can't tell, I'm not talking whilst I'm doing this. I'm doing a voice over, so that's why I may be talking to past Carla. But yeah, there's the library. Back to the hallway. Again, just some more clutter items here. And then I think, are we going to go to the bathroom? Wait, did I even take us into the dressing room? I don't think I did. Yeah, glamorous bathroom. I put toilets in the same room because girls, they like to sit on the toilet together, don't they? And of course, completely skipped the dressing room, so that's fun. And now we make our way upstairs. Looks like we're starting with Snow. This is Snow's bedroom right here. Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I think so too. I really outdid myself. Doors disappeared, must be because of all that Disney magic. And I guess now we're going to go in Jasmine's room. Oh yeah, look at that. Pop of colour. Beautiful. I don't know why I decided to voice over a walkthrough to then just go and compliment my own work. Like, oh, it's amazing. Oh, wow. Like it's the first time I've seen it. Like I wasn't the one who sat and built all of this. Oh, I've just noticed as well, I put a little diary on her bed. Well, yeah, she's a dreamer, isn't she? She likes to make notes. Oh, and the bathroom doors disappeared. So I guess we're just going to walk through the wall, you know, Disney magic. This is Ariel's bathroom. She's got her own ensuite, because, you know, it's like that sometimes. And then over to Aurora, yeah? Just full of personality, full of life. I'm pretty sure she has an ensuite too. Yeah, she does. I think we're going to take a look at that now. Oh, even I knew that was shit, because when I was recording it, just instantly leave. Okay, that's enough of that. And now we find our way into Warrior Mulan's room. Not as much colour as the others, but she doesn't need much colour. She's a badass, so she gets away with it. And then just a little peek around there. Oh, nothing over there. Making our way around the stairway. I really don't know why I feel the need to literally just keep talking. Oh, there's another bathroom. I could just shut up, but I guess I won't. Very clean, very tidy, spick and span. That's the way Papa Walt likes it. Bonus points if you spot the cats. Alright, let's move on. Let's get out of here. I think there's another bathroom. Oh no, I think we're going to see Pocahontas' room first. I quite like how this turned out, actually. I think this is probably a chill room. It's got some good chill vibes. And I think now we're going to the bathroom. Yeah, this is that's the last bathroom. So no more shitty bathrooms to see. And then finally Belle's room. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.